Hi, I'm Steph and I'm mum of two girls who are now aged 15 and 13. I started to write a blog called Steph's Two Girls over 11 years ago on the day that our younger daughter was diagnosed with autism. She was just 2.5 at that time, so quite young. We hadn't had any notable issues with her behaviour, but her speech was slightly delayed. Autism did seem to fit in some ways, but in others she seemed quite different to other autistic children we began to meet. About 6 months later, when I was browsing the internet looking for more help to understand why she did certain things in certain ways, I came across the words pathological demand avoidance. It felt as if the descriptions of this type of autism had been written specifically about our girl. Everything fitted, and that's when I had what's known as a light bulb moment. I decided to help educate other people about PDA because knowing about it and being able to help our girl more made such a big difference to our lives. So what is PDA? There are 6 main characteristics of PDA. Number 1 is that people with PDA struggle with everyday demands, so they try to avoid them. Demands cause anxiety levels to rise, which can lead to overload. Not just demands that the average person might not want to do if they stop to think about it, but a whole range of activities from difficult to easy or boring to enjoyable. Simple tasks like brushing teeth, putting socks on, leaving the house, or school-related demands like homework, or social demands like having friends, going to parties, or having hobbies. Number 2 is that people with PDA can appear sociable and often seem to enjoy being with other people. But being sociable can hide a lack of understanding of social rules, such as when to talk, what to say, how to act, etc. Also, it may seem as if some children with PDA don't recognise hierarchy, so they think that rules apply to the other children, but not to themselves. Number 3, people with PDA use what's called social strategies as part of their avoidance. So that means that there's not always outright refusal to do something. Distraction techniques like changing the conversation, sticking fingers in ears, or talking nonsense might be used instead of simply refusing. Or giving excuses such as my legs are too tired or I've run out of energy is quite common too. It's worth bearing in mind, though, that these might depend on the age or communication abilities of a child. Number 4, people with PDA experience intense emotions, mood swings, and impulsivity. Things can be great until they're not. Parents often express the feeling of walking on eggshells, not knowing what will cause the next upset. When PDA is better understood, though, and fewer demands are used daily, this can help to keep emotions on a more even keel. Number 5, people with PDA appear comfortable with roleplay and pretense. They often have great imaginations, and this was a big indicator for us because our girl's imagination has always been amazing. She did do a lot of role-playing when she was younger, and she still does. And these days she is constantly creating new characters and stories for a TV series which she'd love to get published. Some children maybe pretend to be animals to avoid doing things which humans do. So, for example, cats don't do homework is a good excuse. Number 6 is that obsessive behaviour is often found in those who have PDA, and this tends to be focused on people rather than objects. Many autistic people have intense and highly focused interests, which often begin when they're quite young. Trains is one such interest which I think people tend to think of when they think of autistic people. Pokemon is another, and our girl can recognise and tell you everything about all 893 Pokemon characters. Or it might be something unusual like electricity pylons, which is the interest. But for PDA children, the obsessive behaviour can relate to people. It can come across as wanting control of other children or of their primary carer. But really that control is about managing away the fear or reducing anxiety. Because if the person with PDA knows what's going to happen, it means they're in control, and that means the anxiety levels don't rise so high. PDA is an autism spectrum condition, and people with this have extreme levels of anxiety. A phrase often used for those who have PDA is can't help won't, meaning they can't help the fact that they won't do something. It's not a choice, it's a need to avoid. What they are able to do depends on the environment as well as on the individual's own specific needs and who it is giving the demands. Our paediatrician originally used the word oppositional when she was describing our girl when younger. PDA is not the same as ODD though, which is oppositional defiant disorder. I've written a blog post to explain the differences between those in more detail, but in a nutshell, ODD is not an autism spectrum condition, whereas PDA is. ODD is about the child or adult not wanting to follow rules and directions, but for those with PDA, underlying anxiety is what's driving them to avoid the demands. So that's an introduction to PDA. If you'd like to know more about our personal story or ways to help children with PDA, please do watch my other videos and visit my blog website at www.stephs2girls.co.uk or follow me on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter at Stephs2Girls.